some of us do not have trust breaks? Raise your hand. So, leading with your whole 3-year-old heart means secure attachment. I know how to self-regulate, and I know how to feel safe with people because I learned how to safely co-regulate. And that is where, as I watched the interview, only a part of it, and I won't be listening to all of it, but the Joe Rogan Sadhguru, and he presents this very specific data point, which is how a person will have been held, even though he doesn't use these words. But I've learned all about it thanks to, and I'm still learning with Daniel Siegel. And here, you don't lose, you don't have an integrity if you did not have a household where you were able to, this does not mean maltreatment, abuse, none of it. But if a human being doesn't have secure attachment, that's one trust break that is going to lead them to have lost their humanity. They don't have a 3-year-old heart. They don't have a tidy home inside their body. No, they have what's called implicit memory, which we all have for those first 3 years of life. Our lovely brain, it's only implicit memory. Then the explicit memory comes. So that's when you can remember something. Now, here's where being quiet and still is helpful if you understand that every emotion that comes up has had a place in your human body experience, which 4D mystics, I'm a 5D mystic, Enlightenment functional adult, woo-woo lady and pseudoscience lady for those who do not embrace learning new things. They embrace their shiny little objects because they have what is called a trust break in one way, shape, or form of the entirety of humanity due to different opinions. This is the area where I will say ego self in a way of being very boring people and also not intelligent. Because it's called, I don't trust anyone except for the ideas of my own culture or whatever perspective. But let's go back to how you're held, okay? Because here's where there is no wrong path for any person. However, the individuals who do not have trust in humanity, which I'd say since I was a kid, I've seen all people. Humans are stupid. You're human. Are you saying you're stupid? No, I'm not. I'm not. But they are. Let me think. Contradiction. Yes. Because whenever you speak out of your mouth, it's a reflection of something inside here. Now, attachment researchers, trauma researchers, neuroscientists, a buttload of trending topics. You can see them all over the place. You know what I know? When I'm in the presence of a human being who does not know their own 3-year-old, well, guess what I get to meet? I get to meet an adaptive child, emotionally speaking, who has no idea about their implicit bias. So all that emotional stuff from their 3-year-old self that comes up and anything else that they have no idea and that they don't believe, by the way. Oh yeah, they don't believe in the updated good mental health professionals. So they don't return home. No. Yes, let me read something before we keep going. I shared a short and I'd like to read the copy. Okay, so 5D mystic, Enlightenment functional adults wish from the heart for humanity. And I began, in fact, the short with, when you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. When you wish upon a star, your dreams, something like that. See, I don't remember it, but it always makes me feel like my giggly old self. And I have a good relationship, though, with magic. And I'm okay with it being science is magic that works. This is why 5D mystic plane, a lot different. And we're not trying to explain everything to everyone because that's the point. I'm not your parent. I'm not here to say, hey, human being, be what I'm believing or thinking or my little breadcrumbs. No, I'm actually trying to explain something to people that want to hear that, yes, spirituality and the ancient texts, they explain a lot of things. Science also explains a lot of things. And no, they don't contradict each other. Actually, an open mind to being a human. And that's, again, we'll be able to connect the dots. So when I was watching the interview, going back to kind of segue to why I'm presenting this information, I saw a person who is a subject matter expert in spirituality, a guru, not understand what was being presented to him and not taking the opportunity to be able and strengthen, if you will, the opportunity that spirituality, yoga, and whatever stuff that you can get from there can offer a human being. So I can share because I got to learn that stuff from Stephen Porges and Daniel Siegel. Bessel van der Kolk. Those are three main individuals who have helped me to know why yoga, meditation, mindfulness, compassion-based interventions, all of that, plus NICBM, the team, my trauma-informed courses, all of it. And I'm like, wow, the only reason all this shit works, it's not shit, but I'm just saying everything's really shit, isn't it? The only reason it works is because it's putting into practice your human ventral vagal nervous system, and it's helping your brain to maybe move into integration when you're ready, though, because some people don't understand what that means. But first they need to get their brains into the opportunity. It's kind of like a, what is it called? Preparation, right? You need to have the instrument, which is your brain, be able to effectively use your corpus callosum, which connects your left and right mode, the hippocampus, the prefrontal cortex, and the connectomes. And the interconnected connectomes are how this integration of the brain. So I use words, and I'm pseudoscience lady because I integrate all this stuff. So again, the people who don't want to hear because they already have their breadcrumbs, they're not going to hear. But I'm not here for the ones who don't want to return home to themselves. Let me read again before I keep going. So when you wish upon a star, there goes my voice. Our desire for 5D Mystic is that humanity understands their humanity. And that is to bring forth your own 3-year-old whole heart. So returning home to your first 3 years, for all people, it's something different. Because if your story requires more time, it's going to require more time because the trauma memory is painful. Dysregulated or modulated embodied self-experiences are not fun at all. From what I've gathered from the somatics from somatics, and then somatic experiences also there, but somatics individuals specialized, I don't have the words for it, they know about the importance of the body and what can come up and how trauma memory unfolds. And the bad therapist, the bad mental, I'm going to use that word bad because they limit human consciousness based on their ancient silverback, ancient texts. And anyone who's using their little stethoscopes with their ancient texts, any smart human being, right, yeah, that's right, with the right mode and the left, they're like, yeah, I'm going to listen to you because you have some data in there, but I'm going to put to the side all the shit that you're adding because the shit is from the ancient times that we don't need since we're in the present and you're just using like I'm using, right? That's where people are, well, aren't you doing it? Well, I'm connecting the dots in a way that actually expands humanity's consciousness for all. So yes, you can say it, but my story is way better with the data than those people's stories who want to send us or keep us into toxic masculinity, toxic patriarchy. I can't even begin to go down that path because, see, I appreciate education. And when I see someone limiting, I'm like, you're not an educator. You obviously don't know what it means. Anytime somebody wants to say and they think they're an educator, your head can fall out of your skull. I want to say your head can fall out of your skull. No, physically impossible. Figure of speech, it's a bullshit figure of speech. You're just limiting somebody from moving outside of what you just told them. That's called manipulation in my book. But really, some smart people, well, we're going to be like, yeah, whatever, dude. You just made a statement to say what? That I need to believe in everything you're saying? Which one is it? Because it really sounds like that when you hear people say, oh, guess what? After 15 years of research, I know more than you do. No, you don't. You just know your subject matter. And that's how it's going to stay. This is called healthy self-worth. This is a 3-year-old who says, yep, I ain't buying that bullshit ever. It's called a differentiated self, and it's called, yeah, I have an attitude. I just learned how not to bring it forth because I got taught as a 3-year-old how not to do that. That's literally, if I think about it, because when you think about what the physicians, the trauma experts, all of them, whenever there's a trust break, and I'm thinking right now of, I think it's Gabor Mate, where he was talking about his birthday, he gave an example of how he reacted with unresolved trauma to his child not wanting to sing happy birthday. He was 3, the child at the time, and he was expressing his differentiated self. Ask me about my 3-year-old story and what I did following a little spanking. Yes, I said, okay, I'm going to make my suitcase and go. That's called being a differentiated self. So as you can see, no trust break. And as we're running out of time, we will not be reading all of this. But Enlightenment, the human way, is really fun. And being able to explain why yoga and spirituality stuff works is really great. That way you can know returning home to you involves resolving trauma memory, allowing yourself to move into restored embodied self, allowing yourself to move into integration of the brain. And you can do that with people or with the good therapists. And good means that they are open-minded, not closed-minded and not ancient who are labeling you. No, they have space to say you're beautiful just the way you are. like every one of us, when we return home to ourselves. So returning home, tune in for more.